What's up, pickleball nerds? In today's video, a student of mine, Jim, around the 3.75 to 404, maybe even 425 range, has submitted a video to me that he wants reviewed, playing other players of about the same skill level, 375 to 4.0, according to their own, perhaps, judgment of their skill. So let's go ahead and get into the video. We'll break down, as usual, any interesting shots and plays, focusing mostly on Jim's play in order to analyze him, but also kind of critiquing all players fairly and equally in the game. No judgment, of course, to their skill level. We are all at different levels in this game. I only mean my feedback to be positive and help you to identify leaks in your game that you can plug using new strategies or better kind of positioning or technique. Let's get into it. Pulling up my pen tool here. Let's get into it. That's Jim serving here on the left. His partner hits a great third, allows him to progress to the kitchen. And that was a dink error, step back dink error by this player here. He did an all right job, but did not completely use a nice shoulder, soft shoulder dink with consistent speed to hit that ball. He's thinking about it, you can see. So they must be up 1-0. Good drive by Jim. And it looks like he chose not to hit that out ball. One thing, though, here. Watch it back really fast. Serve. Decent serve return. That third. So Jim hit the third. He is still touching the back line. So is his partner. So in both cases, his partner should have approached a little bit more. But he's got good positioning as his partner's taking this ball. I just wonder if he could be coming in forward as his partner takes this shot. So, because if he'd have been here, he could have, if that was going in, he could have hit it as an overhead, kind of cleared the board. So there's a lot of opportunity perhaps for different positioning. This case, it didn't matter, but we always want to play to the best of our abilities. Still serves are a little middling. There, we're coming forward. That's a great block. Good reset, a little high. So there was an opportunity there to step back. So I would take this foot here. This foot needs to come in a little bit more so that you're about 45-degree angle looking at your partner. I like the eyes. I like the paddle. I just want you in the court a little bit more. Maybe not, maybe right about a little behind this. So you're maybe about 2-3 feet back from where I'd be. Now, if you really don't trust your partner and you think your opponents have fast hands at the net, sure, you could wait a little bit before progressing. So that's totally fine. But generally, I'm going to play a little more aggressive and take a little bit of the court. And then as they hit this shot, I might follow in forward. So let's see. You follow the shot in. So you just went straight from watching him hit the ball to looking at your opponents. You should be looking directly at the ball the entire time. So you can see, even though it's a little blurry because it's a maybe not the best quality video, your head just instantly turned towards your opponent. Now you have to track the ball through your periphery. I'm literally looking at that ball the entire time. And basically in pickleball, I highly recommend to anybody watching this that you keep your eye exactly on the ball at pretty much 100% of the time, except maybe if you get lobbed and you have to circle around. That's a good block. This is great. Good footwork and positioning, relatively low on our toes. Paddle blocks with a kind of a cut block going cross court or a little maybe towards the middle, which I like. Good arc going into the kitchen there. He leans forward. Look, he might have even stepped on the line. It's tough to say exactly. It's another decent ball. Now here, if you're watching that ball carefully, off of his reset, there could have been a moment to jump back. But now that the ball has crossed the net, it's a little too late. So I think there was also an opportunity to jump back. This is just more about practice and reading the ball early, recognizing that his first shot to your partner is probably going to be a pop-up just based on your partner's skill level. That one, there's definitely time to step back. So the fact that you're still here, you should have been able to get 2 feet back. So now we're a dead duck. We're a sitting duck here, and it's going right at our feet. And there it goes. Now, it's not necessarily your fault that that point spiraled out of control, and you might not have been able to recover from it. But to give yourself the best opportunity of recovering, should have been a couple of just jump backs. Just push your butt back, scoot back, even 6 inches if that's all you can get. Good. I love this angle. A little high, but full recovery. Ah, that was a little freak out. Let's watch it again. So good return and burn. You are kind of running as hitting. I prefer to hit and then progress forward. You can see here, this is landing middle court. So it's about a middle quality return. It's not a great return, but it's not a terrible return. You are breaking down at the kitchen line right as they hit the ball. You could be a little more spread at this exact moment. That's okay. You're maybe reading this ball a little late, deciding what to do as it comes in. So the question is, could you move faster on this ball? I like a wide angle or at this player's feet. You really don't want to go cross court with this. And this is the player that's the furthest back. So hopefully use your peripheral vision to really recognize that like this down the line shot right here, this lane is going to be your best opportunity to get a pop up because he's going to have to hit a backhand and he's the furthest black player. So I really, really like focusing on this. He gets a nice block shot in and is a little bit distracted, which is great. Your partner's now going to take the ball, which is good. Your eyes should be following the ball. Okay, there, that's good. So I would be looking right at the ball. Yeah, it looks like it. You're good there. Sometimes it's tough to tell from this angle. He hits a soft dink here. He's dinking towards you, a little high. There could have been a backhand roll here. I can't tell exactly from the distance, but it looks like you almost touched it with your left hand. So maybe there's a way to step in and give it a little flick. No. After now seeing it. So here, off the half volley, there should have been maybe more of a step back to take that ball. So if you can step back with your outside foot here and open this up, then you can take it at the apex and it will be a little bit of a safer ball. So a little bit more up here, which gives you more downward trajectory instead of taking it as a half volley, which actually requires more arc and a little bit more risk. And so you can see you actually, by taking it as a half volley, added a bit of risk. He's able to slide for an attack. He hits a good reset, and this is what I call a freak out move. You didn't necessarily have a plan for the next ball, and as this ball starts dropping, you just kind of hit it. So that should probably be a that could easily be a cross court dink is what I would imagine to do there. And so you just had the mentality of we were in a firefight and I had to continue the firefight, but of course the ball was too low and should have just been reset. It's not necessarily big mistake, but something you just want to catch yourself on and use the fundamentals of the game, green, yellow, red, to dictate your actions. So don't think about how you were just in a firefight and you want to keep playing fast or anything like that. That is not how the game works. Pickleball works simply based on what ball has been given to you. If they give you a red ball, you hit a cross-court dink. They give you a yellow ball, you might hit a speed up. They give you a green ball, put it away. Partner approaches just fine, which is great. He keeps him back. See how he's got that aggressive court positioning and he's nice and low. So this is what I wanted a little bit more from on your side. So props to this guy. Let's see if he can hit a good. His partner can hit a good reset. It's got a nice low arc to it. He comes in recognizing that, which is what we're looking for. Your partner is keeping him back, which is the right play. You're standing at the line, which is great because the court is now condensed. So we're really only playing this court right now, and it's a one-on-one game between the two of them, and they should continue to go back and forth until they reach the kitchen here, or with possibly a cross-court reset by him, but it's a little bit less likely. There, and good. And now, yes, he hits a cross-court dink. He's dinking down the line on you. So there should have been a step here. Your feet are mobile. We want to take a step here. Maybe, and I would push off of my inside leg to slide over. I'm off camera. I just slide over. It should be a nice slide and then a step. My Stance would be my legs would both be kind of open. I can't show it to you on camera right now, but open up that stance, get over there. We do not, you can see right here, this is an error because you are leaning, you're at max lean. You're going to reach for that ball. And if it goes a little too far, and look at how it's just like, right. If we've misjudged it at all, right here, you're going to have to fall over for it. Right. But if your whole body was upright right here and that paddle was below you, then you'd be in much better position. All right, so let's continue. That's a decent down the line dink. At the higher levels, you do not want to do that because you will get ernied. Here, it seems to be fine. It's okay. I might prefer middle or cross, but it's working okay. It's a little too high, it looks like, so I spoke too soon. And that slight pop-up is probably caused by not stepping over. He was able to attack cross court, which is okay. And then your partner, he essentially popped it up. So he went for a speed up, but it ended up being a pop-up. Your partner put it away. So in some ways, maybe you gave him a bait ball, but at the higher levels, you would have gotten ernied on there or cross-courted with a really aggressive cross-court dink. Nice. Okay, so let's watch it back. Start the return. I would say this is in the great category. It's deep. It's a little high over the net, which is fine. But look at how it's in the middle, top of the tee, confuses them. Gets essentially a pop-up. Could have been going out. I won't fault you for hitting it because I have hit balls like this too. But where we want to hit it, if we can, is deep and at their feet. It's hard sometimes, though, and we end up aiming in the middle of the court. That's kind of what happens here. So obviously you're smack dab in the middle of the court. And so if you can push that from here to back at this line here, it's going to be even harder for them. But you did have to get it slightly high, and it's just a tough ball to really do that with. So we're not going to judge it too harshly. That is a solid backhand flick. It was not perfectly executed. As you can see, you moved your body from left to right. Right, so usually you want to lean forward. So your body should lean this way, but you end up leaning out when you hit this ball. So you're kind of like rotating your body to hit it, and it should be all elbow and wrist on the ball. See that angle there? Now he resets it. This should be you should be able to see how high the ball is coming in. Should be able to attack off of this. I would be looking to attack off this. He's coming in too fast. I can even see the ball over the net. So if you had been in slightly better position to attack probably through the middle of them or this player's backhand, kind of roll that ball over the net from now. So you're obviously going to hit it later than now. From this point at the actual apex, cross court at his feet at about 50% speed, 60% speed, a little bit of top spin. He will have to duck down and hit it with his backhand and pop it up. Or hit it into the net, right? So it'd be a pretty tough ball. So that's where I'd be looking to hit it. But again, we're going cross court because it maximizes our hypotenuse. The distance from here to here is 14 feet. And he's at the kitchen line and you're just barely over the net. The distance from here to here is probably 22 feet. It's an extra 7 feet because there's 4 here and 1 to 2 because it's because we're 3 feet, 4 feet over based on math. Kind of a guess, but it gives you a little bit more power to put on the ball. So that's kind of a little bit of a mistake, obviously hitting the net, and we forfeit some positioning here. But it's not the end of the world. And you can see he was able to move up. So maybe by the time you hit that ball, would have been he would have been a little bit closer. But I would prefer that angle. He gets this back. So again, this is a high ball, could be sped up. I'd be thinking about going down the line on him since he's the one in the kitchen right now. He backs up, which is great. You're leaning over a little too much here. So I would be trying to stand tall, keep my head still to hit this ball. And maybe you're leaning over because you're going to lob. I'm going to watch it in real time. Yeah, so that's a dead giveaway of the lob. You took your whole body down and kind of rotated forward. I would be standing tall, forehand, looking to whip it down the line on him, probably, or go for a cautious cross-court dink if I thought they were in good position. And I mean, for me, like he's gonna be able to take this out of the air most of the time, and you hit the ball out. So for me, it's just a low probability shot that you don't need to have in your game in this exact spot. Where I would just prefer something fast at his body or something cross court and safe. Actually, if I'm gonna lob, maybe I'm lobbing this guy, but which has to be like that over into this corner, a straight on lob from here to there. You had so many better options, is what I think in that situation. So I'm not a big fan of the lob in this case. And so yeah, I think a couple of just kind of, we'll call them run of the mill mistakes, not egregious mistakes, but just some decision making here that could be tightened up. That's a great drive by him, and you just kind of got in a tough position. So you're facing him, you're watching the ball. He's hitting a drive that's low and across the net. Yeah, the only thing we can do here is push that ball cross court and take a lot of pace off of it. So you got reasonably good positioning. I would just be trying to make a little bit of a cut block similar to the reset shot you had made earlier into this side of the kitchen. So I'd always go cross, and I'd be aiming pretty shallow, kind of as a dink to let him come up. He hit a great drive, and you got to concede a lot of space off of the back of that. At the end of the day, this is just an error based on the success and speed of his ball. He's not going to hit all of these perfect. So I don't really hold it against you for not making that shot. I've missed that 100 times, 1,000 times. Again, a middling return. You can see that you saw that the ball was short, but kind of slowly walked up to it. So I really want to see a little more speed. Sorry, we're gonna watch. Want to see a little more speed here. You can add a lot more pace to that ball. I don't mind hitting it towards his backhand. That's fine. He circled forehand because it was a slow return. Yeah, that's a good spot by him. Good dig by you to get there. Good reset. Form's great. Good step over. Call that out. Yeah. I don't like your partner's lob there for obvious reasons, but I do think it should be his forehand, but you got to really trust him. A good dink. So yeah, you just got to get out of the way. That is generally the forehand's ball. So as soon as you see him move for it, you should actually stand up and step back to give him space. Not sure that would have changed the outcome here, but it's really important as we move up in the ranks to trust that alpha player is going to take those forehand dinks in the middle, especially when they're dead dinks. And so, yeah, and just communicating you. Get in? Oh boy. Oh, sorry. So I think maybe 3 out of those 4 points could have been avoided with some slightly more improved play. Not a big fan of this serve. Serve third combo. All right, so we just want to tighten up our game here. Really focus on the bread and butter. We don't need to do anything fancy. You just need to be consistent, straightforward. Good. That's the right form. So we just missed there. Form looked good. I think you were standing in the right spot, so I don't think we need to review anything. But that's a really quick side out. it. Let's just walk it back through. Return. Good speed up. His second ball wasn't good, but his opponent missed it. So yeah, your partner doesn't have great hands at the net, worth noting. A little bit soft. Good. So your partner's doing good work. I mean, at his skill level, he's putting the ball deep and in decent spots. He's just not hitting it as hard as I think you could if you developed those shots a little bit more. So let's look at that form again. We really need to focus on winning points when we've got the ball, which means hitting good drops and drives, making sure that we don't lose control of the point, keeping the ball in, because you only get 2 shots at earning points, and then it's the other team's turn, and it can be really, really tough. So really big bending over. I'm noticing this in a lot of your shots. You're using a rotation of your torso and upper body in order to add power. That is going to add a hinge. Generally, you should be standing tall. There is some rotation going on to make that serve, but it's not coming bending down. So you can see you're down a foot. Your head is a foot lower than your body usually is. I would say your head should pretty much your head should really only go up as you maybe jump forward to hit the serve or stand on your toes to maximize the force on your serve. So I don't really like this form here. It's a pretty soft serve overall. I've seen you hit a lot harder than that. Maybe you're playing a little timid here. His return is solid. You didn't really read the return until after it bounced. Watch it again. You're standing, and there. Now, you didn't move until after the ball had bounced, and then you went to meet it and then hit it. So we really need to prejudge where that ball is going to land and get in position earlier. So watch it one more time. A minor foot movement. Maybe the ball is here. You should, at this point, have a really strong understanding of where you need to be standing. There should be a significant movement here. You're leaning over again. Your paddle is way behind your body, which I don't recommend for a drive. You're winding up for a big ping pong shot is what it looks like here. And you fell backwards as you hit the ball, which is probably what caused this error. So instead, our feet should be planted firmly, our hand out to the side, and we should be windshield washing through without any backswing. That would be how I'd recommend it, and making sure that we are early to be in position on this drive. And that was a good dodge by him because it could have been going in, so a little surprising. But all those things I think led to that error. So a little more readiness, a little more hustle ahead of the shot, most important part. Fixing technique takes a bit more time. Beat him to the kitchen line. Nice! You got him. Let's just watch it back. He's returning to your backhand. Again, you didn't really move to that ball until after it bounced. Tough to see with this person in the way, but just notice this. Look at this. You've moved your paddle to the left, acknowledging that it's your ball, but you haven't moved your body there, and then you moved your body after. So it's a little faster movement. The ball. This is a solid positioning by you. It looks like it's a pretty obvious that he's going to be driving down the line. I would stand even a little taller, knees bent, and get ready to counter. That's a pretty good counter, and it ends up hitting him. That's awesome. Good job. This is a very good draw. Good reset. Those are 2 really good shots. There's really nothing to criticize. That's exactly how I would take that. You were a little bit late. You're right on time to the ball there. Good hustle forward, even though the ball's out of play. That's If it lands in, it's good to be forward. Good. Kind of baited. Notice. So we worked a lot on the return together in the past. Return, burn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you notice how your third and fourth step were slower and slower? So if I'm playing a game and I want to win, I'm going to get to that kitchen line in 3 steps, and I'm going to stop on the third step, not slow down on the third step and stop on the fourth. I'm going to come to an immediate halt on the third step, exerting force down on my feet to slow myself down, possibly squeaking my shoes. That's what I'm looking for in order to get there a little earlier. Just a minor thing, but the reason that he got that pop up was because the person on the right here was trying to hit the ball to you because it looked like you were late. So it's kind of ironic it worked out in your favor. Good. Okay, watch it back. You're gonna see the error. First error. Okay, it's your positioning when the ball is on this side of the court. You need to be, the ball is here. Maybe you need to be square. You need to be probably 6 inches to your right to guard the line. He has a lane here that he can hit down on that third. You're lucky he did not try for that, because I would have gone down the lane and it would have been pretty tough for you. That's a good way to keep him back by your partner. Not a 5-0 shot. There could have been a lot more power, but that's okay. He lines this up for a drive down the line because you still, after the ball twice coming over to here, haven't moved that way. You should have been standing here now. So the first ball, you should have stood there. Second ball, you should have taken another foot over as that ball goes to the person in front of you. So not only are we watching the ball with our eyes constantly, but we're kind of moving with the ball with our feet in every shot. So that's what you missed here. Almost causes an error. You actually get the ball back quite nicely, and your partner finishes it up. Middle serve. Your partner should be taking those. This third. So let's definitely amp up the serves where we can. Return. So you see him moving towards it, but because you've gone to move to your backhand, I think he backs off. So I would, before the game, talk about some partner communication rules and say, hey, if I'm over here, I want you to take all the balls in the middle. That lands right here and came pretty straight. So I would expect that to be him. You hit it slightly after the apex on your back foot. Really, this is just a Hail Mary shot, and probably due to the miscommunication, but you really got to nail that. And then I don't know if you missed it. We'll find out in a second. But lucky. Yeah, you were just lucky that you hit that out, because that was a dead put away. Middling return, again with the bending of the body down is going to be causing some. It's a great drive. Able to keep control of the ball. You were early to it. You moved forward after, not on your back foot. You're able to keep the ball low, and it crested over the net and went lower than the net. All right, next ball, a high serve, which I'm not a huge fan of. Partner seems to be casually hitting the ball, which is his style. This is the third. So again, you're moving forward late, so I would have liked to see that aggressive stance earlier here. Right when you recognize this, you see that you should be moving forward. If you were a little bit farther forward, you could probably make it all the way to this position right here, which is exactly where I would stand right as he's hitting this ball. What will happen if you were standing a little bit closer? You would have poached that ball and had a straight up attack. Now you have a weak cross-court D, which is what happens when you're late. And that was no one. That was a winner by this guy, and no one could have fended that off. So the error was in your positioning on the third, not moving forward enough, and it cost you the poach and the point. That's risky. Got the pop up. Good. Good. You touch him. So let's go back to the beginning here. Why did I say that was risky? Okay, so this bounces. They're moving forward. If they were to continue kind of just rushing the net, blitzing you maybe perhaps on this ball, that right there would have been an attack. He decided to break down, but you didn't know that at the moment. So I would have preferred to see a little bit less of an aggressive pushback in general. Now, in this case, it actually is the perfect move. So maybe there's something to be said for doing it because you know your opponents, or you felt confident they wouldn't go for an aggressive move or a poach. This causes a pop-up. Causes another pop-up. This slows it down a bit. He drives it at you. This ball here. So I've got some problems with this ball. You should have expected a drive. You should have been ready for it. You should be able to flick this back at them. Instead, you've got some sort of crossbody block shot that really concedes a lot of space. If instead you were able to just flick that down the line with a lean in forward flick, or just pushing it down here, there's actually a winner in angle here. So there is a way to hit a winner off of this, or just, anything more forward. This ends up being not a pop-up, but it's just conceding a lot of space with the shot. And you can see that then it slows things down quite a bit. They're able to regain control. Now, this dink, I think, is totally fine. You're projecting this angle, which isn't always ideal. I think everyone knows you're going here. You might even see that he's kind of preparing for it. But that's okay. It's not the best dink in the world. Cross court is also an opportunity, but and hiding the shot a little bit better could be another way for improvement. Also, pushing harder into the corner could have been a slightly better play. They dink. He speeds it up a little recklessly. I don't know. And again, I don't know. I guess it touched him. Yeah, so he should have kept it on the same guy. Good power. A little aggressive by them. Now, while you had good power, feet slide. I think we need to move over 6 inches, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, see how far you had you were fully outreached. One little step could do so much more there. Second thing is that the ball landed around here. If you could push that towards his feet more, probably would have been point over. Could even aim a little bit more in the middle as well. Still, good job. So these are, I'm being really nitpicky, but these are some of the minor improvements that will make a massive difference in your game. Good. A decent return. Put out. I think it was in. Your opponents are playing it. Good angled shot. Return is okay. I would give this up. Just throwing away the serve with it. Good reset there. Watch it one more time. So again, we can get a little more aggressive with our positioning. Your partner seems to be doing decent at dropping. Those are two pretty good resets though overall. Good serve. That's the best serve I've seen from you. Okay, so again with the partner communication, just as a reminder, you should be getting that third. You should be moving towards that ball. He should say yours. You should say mine. In. I was in. We'll rewatch it and then we'll pause it. So that's yours all day. That's yours all day. That's your drive. That's your sweet spot. That's you. That needs to be you. So your partner hits a bad shot. You hit it's It's a mistake. You should be able to get to that ball. You should have been broken down and ready to move over to hit a nice reset shot there. You see that, right? It's bounced and it hasn't even left the line. So that's way in. You can let them know that they miscalled that shot. Let me move myself out of this frame. Just get there a little earlier. It was your ball. You needed to just get ready a little early. I don't mind the form though. So you weren't ready for that ball, which I'm not sure why, because it's coming to you like 90% of the time. We should have been able to lean earlier for that and just meet the ball where it was. From here, I don't know why you're moving wide, but you need to be stepping back towards the baseline and towards the middle. Actually, I might just move straight back. So I would not be stepping for a wide ball. It's going to be really hard for him to whip that cross court. It's almost likely going down the middle. This should be a reset, plain and simple. Your paddle should not be over your shoulder. There should not be a drive there. You continued to fall wider and wider and further away from where the ball was. Remember, the court is constricted. Sorry, let me do that again. Like this. This is the court. You're standing basically off of the existing court. You're hitting the ball to this player on trying to go over to the backhand side, landing in this region, which would completely eliminate. Basically, this portion of the court is eliminated, where this foot is standing. This portion exists, but in a slower capacity where you would be able to run around and possibly dink reset. Right? So it still exists, but it essentially not as a fastball can't really get there. So yeah, just play. You got to play the middle. Your partner is also out of position. So if either of you had stepped back for those, you could have gotten that ball. Middling return from them, late, good no hit. You didn't hit any balls, so there's not much to critique. Ready position, paddle out, here we go. Really short return. They're basically at the kitchen line, pretty much beating, one of the guys beat you there. So you can see what happens with soft returns. Comes tougher thirds. You don't get to the kitchen line and you make errors that you didn't have to. I don't mind the slice return, but you really got to focus on depth of ball. You landed just outside of the kitchen. We need to be in the back of the court. And when you make a mistake like that, here's how I think of the mistake. If it's low and short, rush your butt to the kitchen line. If it's a high ball, like over 10, 15 feet, 10, 12 feet in the air, and it's short, then you stay back in the mid court and you say short to your opponent, to your partner, sorry. Great drive, good recovery. That's about all you can do. Good cross court. Excellent by your partner. Great pressurized dink. Really solid play here. You did have to concede off of the drive, which is to be expected when they hit a good drive. So I don't mind that at all. Moving forward a little late again. So really, as soon as you know that you're not the one taking the third, 2 steps forward and turn towards your partner. Middling serve. This is a great drop. Good reset. Yes! Excellent. Good positioning, good power. Yeah, that was really well played. You took your time coming forward, hit a nice reset with comfort. You were ahead of it. The serve was just a little... Yes, finish. Yes. Excellent. So I don't think that, again, not too much to be said. Really well played, but still your serves. I want your serves at least in the back 50%. Or, I mean, if they're short, they should be more topspin, more power. It's pretty middling. Good. Let's just watch your positioning here. Drive at the returner. I really like this choice. Block, Partner takes a cross-court dink. So here you have to guard line. But you may be guarding a little too much. So obviously I'm guarding line, but I'm also hoping for a pop-up in the middle that I can poach. So I'm kind of doing both. And so as soon as I know he's not going to flick it down the line, I'm going to move back over. So you see you moved over a little late. That's okay though, because the ball wasn't going to you. But like I would follow that ball back over at the same speed. And then your partner hit a couple good shots there. So very minor critique about positioning. But I don't hate it, and I've honestly done it before 100 times. That's much better serve from depth standpoint. Again, know that your partner's got that. So you're just crowding your partner with your backhand. You really gotta trust them, and you gotta communicate it ahead of time, so that you can have that trust. Okay, return. Great drop by him, but good recovery by you. Yes, that's a really good down the line speed up. It's well hidden as well. Let's just watch it back because I think the thing that was most successful about this was hiding it. So return, we're burning. It's deep enough. They're hitting it from behind the baseline, which is what we want. You've got in a good position, but he was able to hit that cross court shot. You made a recovery, which is great. They make it to the kitchen, so this is called conversion to the kitchen. And you hid that shot, aim for this corner, caught him off guard. Hold on. That's a good serve from the middle. Good power. Yes. All right. Gotta give praise here. Look at this. You wound up with two arms, just saw it coming, pushed it right back at him as hard as you could, right at the feet and low. He hits another high reset, and your partner even higher reset. So you're working your way up and finish it off right there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. And their frustration is that they drove a little too high, and you were able to capitalize on it. Very short. We're going the wrong way. Dead dink. It's okay. He goes cross. Step. Again, it's extra step. You're reaching. Seems like you go for the lob out of desperation when you are late to the ball. So just getting there early, taking two steps, that sort of thing. You have more time than you think. You did not move forward again. Okay, come on. We got to watch that again. Recognizing it's ATP. 1, 2, 3. Hit him. So good. So good. 3 steps moving with that low forehand and hit your opponent in the feet. So there's no doubt that ball is in. Yeah, good way to end it. Overall, the common theme was when your partner's taking the third, you need to be a little bit more aggressive and push forward as long as you have trust in that partner that they can drop or drive fairly well. Also judging your opponents and how good they are at keeping people back. But I'm always at least to a step or more forward than you are. In any game, 4-0, 5-0 doesn't matter. And I make the judgment call on either move forward or backwards as they hit the ball. The second thing was trusting that your partner, the alpha player, the player with the forehand middle, is going to get those third shots and giving them a little bit more space. Then there was just some positioning situations where you weren't acknowledging that the ball was on this side of the court. So this is, perhaps when the ball is going between cross court and it's not to you, right? So the ball is going between these two players here, back and forth. You're thinking when it's over here, you need to stay over that way, and you do. But as soon as it comes back over here, you take this step in the other direction. And so constantly moving. Every shot, our feet are moving. Whether you're hitting the ball or not, your feet are pretty much moving in every shot. Yeah, and then just stronger serves and stronger returns. I would 100% work on those. Probably eliminating or slightly limiting the kitchen line lobs. Making sure that we are having less baseline lob scramble shots by being a little bit more ready. And then I know it's your move to use that shoulder for your kind of drives, but I would really recommend testing out the different way, the windshield washer drive with flatter feet. I think there can be a little bit more power and consistency with that shot. All right, that's it. I'll leave you with that. Until next time.